Something extraordinary is about to unfold, not next year, not next month, but before October 18. 4 powerful events are aligning that could completely shift the direction of your life, if you're ready to recognize them. The clock is ticking, and every second between now and that date carries a hidden meaning. Have you ever felt that something big was coming, even if you couldn't explain why? There are moments in life when time feels charged, when the universe seems to whisper, "Get ready." We are in one of those moments right now. Before October 18, 4 things are about to happen. And if you understand them, you'll not only be prepared, you'll be transformed. Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to reveal could change the way you see the days ahead and help you catch blessings most people will miss. There are moments in life when the air feels different, when you can almost sense that something unseen is moving on your behalf. It's in these moments that the first great shift begins to unfold. This isn't about luck, coincidence, or chance. It's about divine timing aligning with personal readiness. What was once hidden is preparing to be revealed, and before October 18, paths that seem blocked or forgotten will suddenly start to open. You might not notice it at first, because revelation rarely arrives with noise. It comes in whispers, a feeling to call someone, an idea that won't leave your mind, a sudden moment of clarity after a long season of confusion. These are not random events. They are signals that the unseen has started to work in your favor. You may have been waiting for answers that never seem to come. You might have asked, "Why hasn't it happened yet?" Or, "What am I missing?" The truth is, timing protects purpose. Sometimes the answer doesn't show up when you want it, because you're not yet in the place to receive it. Life has a rhythm, and every blessing has a schedule. What's been hidden was not denied, it was being prepared. The silence you've endured wasn't a punishment, it was preparation. Before the unveiling, there must be refining. And now, that refining is nearing its end. You will begin to notice subtle shifts around you. People who were once distant may reach out again. Doors you thought were permanently closed might start to show cracks of possibility. That project, dream, or opportunity you set aside could suddenly resurface. What you thought was over wasn't the end. It was the seed being buried so it could grow roots. You are about to see what those roots have been forming beneath the surface. Everything that looked still has been alive with quiet progress. The pieces that never seemed to fit are about to arrange themselves with perfect precision. This period will also bring revelations about direction. Clarity will replace confusion, and purpose will start to pull stronger than pressure. You may find yourself questioning old routines or relationships, not because they're bad, but because they no longer align with where you're going. Pay attention to this inner stirring. It's not restlessness, it's realignment. The first shift is all about perception. The moment you start to see differently, you begin to move differently. And the moment you move differently, everything around you responds to that shift. You'll find that your intuition becomes sharper. That gut feeling, that inner knowing, it will guide you toward the right choices. Don't ignore it. Sometimes the signs will come through dreams, sometimes through conversations that seem ordinary, but carry extraordinary messages. Life is always speaking. The key is learning to listen. If something in your spirit feels illuminated, don't hesitate. Act on it. Momentum will follow movement. Each small step you take now will unlock another piece of the larger picture. It's important to understand that this unveiling will not always be loud or dramatic. It may come through quiet opportunities that require courage to recognize. Someone may present you with an offer, A conversation might shift your thinking, or you may simply feel compelled to start again in an area you once gave up on. Do not let fear disguise itself as logic. Fear will always whisper reasons to wait. Faith, on the other hand, will whisper reasons to move. When the first shift begins, it won't wait for your comfort. It will demand your courage. There will also be moments of confirmation, those seemingly small coincidences that make you say, "I was just thinking about that." They are reminders that you are being guided. The universe does not speak in chaos, it speaks in patterns. When patterns start repeating, pay attention. If certain numbers, names, or opportunities appear again and again, they're pointing you toward your next step. Nothing repeats without reason. What looks like random repetition is often divine redirection. And as this shift unfolds, gratitude becomes your anchor. The more you thank life for what is, the faster what's coming can find you. Gratitude amplifies awareness. Awareness attracts opportunity. You may feel like the pace of life is changing. It is. Acceleration follows alignment. When what's meant for you finds you ready, it doesn't walk, it runs. That's what's happening now. The current is gaining speed. This is the moment to lean in, to trust what you can't yet see, and to prepare for the revelation that's already on its way. Before every transformation, there comes a moment of testing, a season where everything that can be shaken is shaken, not to destroy you, but to strengthen what's unbreakable within you. This second shift is about faith and focus, and it often begins in silence. You may feel as though the energy around you is unsettled, as if things that were once clear have turned uncertain. The reason is simple. You are being prepared to hold something greater, and that preparation requires refinement. Before October 18, many will find themselves in moments that test their patience, their hope, and their belief that something good is still possible. These moments aren't signs that you're off track. They are proof that you are right on time. In every journey of transformation, faith is the currency that opens unseen doors. But faith isn't built when everything feels easy. It's built when everything feels uncertain. You may have days where you question if you've done enough, prayed enough, worked enough, believed enough. Yet it's in those moments that faith becomes real, not as an idea, but as a force. Faith doesn't erase the storm. It teaches you how to stand inside it without losing balance. The coming days will test how well you can stay centered when life feels chaotic, how strong you can remain when results seem delayed. It's not punishment. It's the universe asking, can I trust you with what's next? There will be times when distractions appear in every direction. Old habits, old doubts, even old people may resurface trying to pull your attention back to what you've already outgrown. Don't be surprised if suddenly everything demands your energy at once. Unexpected problems, emotional triggers, or small frustrations that seem to appear out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. They're part of the test. The distractions are meant to see whether you'll break focus before your breakthrough. The ones who endure this phase without giving up are the ones who rise higher after it passes. In this testing season, silence can feel heavier than usual. You may pray and hear nothing. You may ask for a sign and receive stillness. That silence isn't absence, it's instruction. Growth rarely announces itself while it's happening. Just as seeds push through darkness before they reach light, your spirit is being stretched in quiet ways right now. It's easy to believe when everything is clear. The real challenge is believing when clarity hasn't arrived yet. That is where faith transforms from words into reality. Your emotions will also be tested. The days ahead may bring waves of frustration or doubt, but those emotions don't define your progress. They're like waves that crash hardest before the tide changes. The key is not to fight them, but to flow through them. Let yourself feel, but don't let feelings dictate your direction. Many people quit moments before the shift happens because they mistake pressure for failure. But pressure is proof that expansion is near. Diamonds form under it. Breakthroughs happen through it. You might also find your relationships shifting. People who once understood you may suddenly feel distant. Conversations may end abruptly, or you may lose interest in places that once felt familiar. This too is part of the refining. When faith deepens, alignment changes. Not everyone can walk with you into the next season. That doesn't make them bad. It just means your paths are no longer parallel. Letting go is part of trusting that new connections will appear when needed. Faith means releasing control over who stays or goes, knowing that everything leaving is making room for something better to arrive. During this test, it's crucial to protect your focus. Guard your thoughts as carefully as you guard your goals. Doubt will whisper that you're wasting time. Fear will try to convince you that you've missed your moment. The truth is, neither is real. Every second spent holding faith plants energy into your future. Your thoughts are seeds. Plant what you want to see grow. When negativity comes, replace it with intention. Speak as if the miracle is already in motion, because in many unseen ways, it already is. Patience will become your greatest tool. Not the kind of patience that waits passively, but the kind that prepares actively. Keep building, keep planning, keep doing what you can, even if no one sees it yet. This is where character is forged, in the quiet consistency that continues when recognition hasn't arrived. You're not being delayed, you're being developed. When the moment comes, you won't have to chase it. It will recognize you. Focus in this season is about staying loyal to the vision, even when the evidence is missing. It's about trusting that what you've planted is still growing even when the soil looks empty. Many will give up because they can't see progress. But sight has never been the language of faith. The language of faith is belief in the unseen. This is what the second shift demands. The strength to keep walking through uncertainty with the confidence that clarity will catch up. As these days unfold, remember that testing is temporary, but transformation is permanent. You are being refined so that when opportunity arrives, you are unshakable, unafraid, and unmovable. In the flow of change that's moving through this season, the third shift brings a wave of alignment and connection. This is when life starts to rearrange itself around what truly belongs to you. People, opportunities, and situations begin to move into position, sometimes in ways that don't make sense at first. You might notice that certain relationships grow distant, while others appear suddenly and with deep familiarity, as if you've known them forever. The purpose of this shift is to align you with energy that matches your growth, your purpose, and the new chapter waiting to unfold before October 18. It's the phase where divine order starts to replace disorder, where the right connections meet you at the right time, and where what once felt confusing begins to feel clear. Alignment is not accidental, it's intentional. The universe listens to your energy, not your words. When your mindset, emotions, and actions align with what you truly desire, life responds by sending people and opportunities that reflect that frequency. But when you're carrying old energy, unresolved emotions, outdated beliefs, or unhealthy attachments, those signals create interference. This shift begins when that interference starts to clear. You may feel sudden urges to disconnect from certain people, change routines, or distance yourself from environments that drain you. That's not instability, that's energetic cleanup. The space being created isn't empty, It's sacred ground being prepared for something new. This period is also when divine connections emerge. They don't come with flashing signs or loud introductions. They often arrive quietly, through unexpected meetings, random conversations, or even online encounters that carry a strange sense of destiny. Pay attention to who brings peace when they speak, who makes you feel seen without needing to perform, and who inspires movement instead of complacency. These are not coincidences. They are alignments. In times like this, life rearranges its cast. Some characters exit gracefully, others enter suddenly. But every exchange serves a purpose in the unfolding of your next phase. The beauty of alignment is that it feels effortless once it begins. The right people won't drain you trying to understand you. The right opportunities won't require you to shrink yourself to fit. What matches your energy will feel natural. You'll notice conversations that flow, ideas that spark easily, collaborations that seem to click without struggle. When you encounter this, trust it. It's easy to question something that feels too smooth after a long period of resistance. But that smoothness is the confirmation that you've entered a zone of alignment. The universe doesn't reward confusion with chaos. It rewards clarity with connection. At the same time, this shift will highlight what no longer fits. Situations that once made sense may suddenly feel heavy or out of place. You might find yourself feeling uncomfortable in rooms that used to feel safe. Don't ignore that discomfort. It's your intuition signaling that the energy has changed. The more you honor those signals, the faster alignment will occur. Every time you choose peace over pressure, you move closer to the people and places meant for you. Every time you release what feels forced, you create room for what flows. You'll also find that during this phase, conversations carry more weight. A single sentence, a brief encounter, or a shared idea can shift your direction. This is why presence matters. Listen deeply to what's being said and also to what's being felt. Words are only half the message, energy delivers the rest. You'll start to sense who aligns with your mission and who simply aligns with your past. The difference becomes clear when you leave an interaction either drained or charged. Follow the feeling, not the familiarity. Sometimes the soul recognizes before the mind understands. As this alignment strengthens, divine timing will start revealing its perfection. A person you meet randomly could connect you to a long-awaited opportunity. A conversation could unlock a realization you've been searching for. A chance moment could redirect your path entirely. These aren't isolated events. They're threads of the same design weaving together behind the scenes. When alignment is active, nothing happens by accident. You may even revisit old connections, but this time the energy will be different, healed, balanced, and ready. What was once impossible becomes effortless when timing meets readiness. It's important to trust that not all connections are meant to stay forever. Some appear just to deliver a message or help you cross a bridge. Don't cling to temporary alignments, trying to make them permanent. Their purpose is transition, not permanence. Letting go with gratitude keeps your energy clear for the next arrival. The same is true for opportunities. Some will come quickly and require immediate action. Others will appear as glimpses of what's to come. You'll know which is which by the peace that follows your decision. True alignment doesn't create anxiety. It creates calm, even when it challenges you. This phase also brings a sense of reunion, not always with people, but with parts of yourself you had forgotten. You might rediscover passions you once abandoned or remember dreams that got buried under responsibility. The connections forming externally often mirror internal reconnections. As you meet people who resonate with your authenticity, You'll begin to recognize that you're finally living from that authentic space. You no longer need to prove, persuade, or perform. You just exist, and what's meant for you naturally gravitates closer. This is a season of magnetic alignment, where life stops forcing and starts flowing, where clarity replaces confusion, where the right people, places, and opportunities begin to orbit your energy because you've become a match for what you once only wished for. This is the moment where everything begins to take form, when the invisible starts to become visible, when all that has been prepared behind the curtain begins to move into the light. The fourth shift is about manifestation, not just of desires, but of destiny. It is the time when everything you have endured, believed, prayed for, and worked toward begins to show signs of life. The energy that once felt stagnant will start to flow again, carrying with it the results of your unseen persistence. The waiting season has been long, and at times you may have felt forgotten or overlooked, but the truth is, nothing has been wasted. Every delay has been direction. Every closed door has been redirection. Before October 18, that sense of motion you've been missing will return, and with it, the realization that everything was aligning perfectly, even when it didn't look that way. Manifestation is not magic, it's alignment made visible. When your belief, your effort, and divine timing meet in the same space, reality begins to shift. You may wake up one morning and feel a new sense of peace without knowing why. You may receive messages, opportunities, or invitations that feel like they came out of nowhere. But they didn't come from nowhere. They came from the seeds you've been planting all along. What's happening now is the harvest, not because you chased it, but because you became the person who could receive it. The internal work you've done has changed your external reality. That's what this shift is all about. The outer world catching up with the inner growth that has already taken place. You might find that things you've been asking for suddenly appear in unexpected ways. Maybe a job you thought was lost reappears, or a project you put aside gets revived with new energy. Maybe someone you helped in the past returns with an opportunity you never saw coming. These are all signs that the cycle is completing itself. Energy always returns to its source. The kindness, effort, and faith you've poured out into the world are circling back, multiplied. You're stepping into a season where manifestation won't feel like a struggle, it will feel like a response. Life is echoing back everything you've been sending out. But manifestation also demands readiness. When blessings arrive, they require space. This is why the previous shifts were necessary, to clear out distraction, doubt, and misalignment. The universe won't hand you what you've asked for until you've become capable of sustaining it. Now that capacity has been built. You've learned endurance through waiting, discernment through testing, and wisdom through loss. All of it was training for this. The manifestation you're stepping into will not overwhelm you because it will match your new level of maturity and awareness. You will recognize it not by its appearance, but by the peace it brings. During this time, you may also notice acceleration. Things that once took months could happen in days. What used to require pushing will start to move with ease. That's because manifestation moves at the speed of surrender. The moment you release the need to control every detail, life gains permission to surprise you. The opportunities ahead will not demand exhaustion, but alignment. You won't need to chase, you'll attract. You won't need to prove, you'll simply become undeniable. This is what divine manifestation feels like. Not frantic effort, but effortless unfolding. You will also feel an internal confirmation that something has shifted. There will be moments of deep stillness followed by sudden clarity. Inspiration will come easily. Ideas will flow freely. You may even find yourself revisiting old goals, but with a completely different mindset. What once felt heavy will now feel light. What once seemed impossible will now seem obvious. That's the power of alignment meeting manifestation. It doesn't change the external world first. It changes how you see it. And then everything outside begins to mirror that new vision. As this energy builds, gratitude becomes your multiplier. The more you acknowledge what's happening, the faster new blessings will form. Gratitude tells the universe, I'm ready for more of this. It keeps you open, humble, and aligned with abundance. Make time to notice the small confirmations, a message that lifts your spirit, a coincidence that feels too perfect to ignore, an idea that reignites your motivation. These small signs are evidence that manifestation is already unfolding. Don't dismiss them because they seem minor. The major begins in the minor. Every big transformation starts with a quiet confirmation. This period will also bring balance. For some, the manifestation will appear as tangible rewards. Promotions, reconciliations, creative success, financial breakthroughs. For others, it will manifest as internal peace, emotional healing, or a new sense of purpose. Whatever form it takes, it will reflect exactly what your soul has been needing. This isn't about receiving random outcomes. It's about receiving alignment. The external results will match the internal frequency you've been holding. That's why this shift feels both new and familiar, because, on some level, your spirit has been expecting it. As the days unfold, the sense of divine orchestration will become stronger. You'll look back and realize why things had to happen the way they did. Every delay, every detour, every heartbreak will start to make sense. You'll see that nothing was lost, everything was repositioned. The version of you that's emerging now is prepared to handle what once would have broken you. Manifestation is not about getting everything you want. It's about becoming everything you were meant to be, so that what's meant for you can finally find you.